Started and introduce everybody, and then we'll introduce Miss Kate too, who's joining us. So good afternoon to all of our ASCs today, and Julie, I get to see you too. Hi, how are you? So the reason we're here today is to share with you an exciting announcement for our Home Hub program. I am super excited about this, guys. So firstly, thank you to everyone from the top down. From our leadership to our managers, to our ASCs, and to our agents who have been absolutely incredible at using our Home Hub program and building vendors. So I wanted to share with you, and since we're talking amongst ourselves here, since we've started the program, the biggest objections and challenges that we've received for this program so far have been, number one, agents don't want to share their client contact information, and they want to hold that close to their vest and be able to control who is contacting their clients. Number two, agents want to add their own vendors to the program who they use, trust, and recommend, and feel there shouldn't be a cost to the vendor. So they told us, and we listened. We have now reached a tremendous milestone and are super excited to announce agents will be able to add their clients' contact information into their HomeHub account, including the email address and phone number privately. And now our agents will be able to add their own vendors that they use, trust, and recommend to their individual HomeHub account and app. Yay, this is a huge milestone, guys. Now, all vendors will be present in the HomeHub program complimentary at no cost. So we're removing that cost component. February is the last month for vendor payments. Due to the outstanding success of the HomeHub program, the thisisourlist.com website will be retired. All program changes take effect March 1. So we plan to roll out the new program announcement and enhancements throughout this month in February. We have ongoing presentations with our regional RVPs and managers, along with today's ASC training, to help you give the tools you need to help our agents with these program changes. On February 22nd at 11 a.m., there will be a company-wide HomeHub informational session and announcement. We really want everybody to be able to attend this informational session. So now our program partner, MoveEasy, who is the HomeHub app developer, is here today to give us an overview of the key features and enhancements for the HomeHub program, along with showing us how to do some of these new things. So it's my pleasure to introduce Kate Lesueur. She's MoveEasy's Senior Customer Success Manager. Kate, you can take it away.
Awesome. I was gonna say, Danielle, you basically did my whole intro, so I don't even have anything else to say. Just congrats and good luck. No, I'm kidding. So, well said, and thank you everyone for taking time to join today. I would just like to say before I start the presentation. So first off, I have worked on that agent's support staff. I've been in real estate my entire life. So I know the questions you're going to get, how they're going to respond. I understand. I'll say it best. My whole family's in real estate, my parents. So I know, and my mom is a bit of a diva when it comes to real estate. So I know what they're going to say and I know what you deal with. So please know that I empathize with you wholeheartedly. And I hope that this presentation, you leave feeling really comfortable about the program and what to expect with those agents. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Hopefully everyone can see. It says Home Hub really big on my screen. We all see it? All right, so I'm going to get started. And poor Danielle has heard me speak more often than she probably wants to admit. I can be a little quick when I am presenting, especially when it is something really exciting and beneficial as HomeHub is going to be. So if you need me to just slow down or be like, whoa, Kate, go back, rewind, just unmute or put it in the chat and I'll make sure that I can reiterate that. So we're just briefly going to go over kind of what that agenda of today is going to be. What is HomeHub? Why you want to use it. And I know, again, that these agents are going to come up to you, and because you're really the gatekeeper for so many things that are going on within the brokerage, they're going to ask you these questions, and I'm going to give you the answers on how to respond to them. So when they say, like, what is this? How does this work? I'm going to tell you everything that you'll need to know, and then what we're going to ask you to do to help at the end here. So I will go live on the agent dashboard that you all have access to within your offices. And then we have a great slide that if you are tired or falling asleep in the middle of this presentation, you have to stay awake for who we are and what we're not. They are probably the most important slide that we're going to talk about talks about the data, talks about some of those objections that Danielle had mentioned earlier, and how we have really alleviated those fears within those agents. And then Danielle's going to speak to some ideas for increasing engagement at the end, and I will stay on and make sure there are no questions. So that whole first bullet point, Danielle already covered. All right, the February is the last month of This Is Our List. We are moving it to the Home Hub. But how many of you are familiar with what the Home Hub service is? Perfect. Awesome. I am going to briefly go over that because I do think it's important with this new announcement. It is a personal moving service. It is a moving team, a concierge that is helping those clients move, everything from mail forwarding, driver's license, setting up movers, setting up insurance, their utilities. So has anyone moved in the past couple of years? Because I can tell you I did, and it was an awful experience, right? It's stressful, it's exhausting. You're on hold with every different utility company you can imagine. This is basically a complimentary service. And that's going to be the first question. They're like, wait, is this free? It is entirely complimentary to the agent, to the client. There is a personal assistant. They are real people that are setting all of these up for those clients. Then the other thing we're going to point out by the end of this call today is there's a whole nother dashboard outside of that moving dashboard. The moving dashboard is an automated system, and I'm going to show you how that works and what the agents can expect. But there's another dashboard that's just meant for homeowners. So how many of you own a home and you're interested to make sure you have the correct or the lowest rate you can for your cable, for your internet? You want to keep track of all of the documents you have with your home. We have a homeownership dashboard that's available for everyone that owns a home that just keeps things organized. Check the equity in your home. If you want to pay it off, what projects you can do, home projects, a lot of great things to stay, for those agents to stay top of mind with their clients. So we're going to discuss how on the agent dashboard, you're able to invite a large group of past clients, a CSV file, and upload a lot of those contacts to get people onto that homeownership dashboard. So far, is this familiar? I'm going a little quick on this slide because I'm hopeful that you all are aware of the program. All right, let me know if I need to repeat anything. This slide is very similar to what we just discussed. It's just prettier because there's no words on it. It's a lot of photos. People like images. So how this works, just so you guys are aware, once the deal is marked pending in Dash, so you guys being the ones marking things pending, that is going to trigger an invite for the moving dashboard. So the idea of this service is really to be a 360 end-to-end view of everything within home ownership, purchasing a home, selling a home, etc. We want them to know Schmidt family of companies, and we want them to know the agent. So in this case, they get that email triggered from that going pending, and then they get invited to the moving dashboard. There's a set cadence, a communication cadence with an email and phone number, which is why it's really important that we do grab the client's information. There's a slide in here that's basically going to list what we need from you all, and that would be making sure we have the correct client information. At this point, I'm sure the agent is like, I'm not giving my client information up. What are you doing with it? What do you want? Why do you want it? It's their livelihood. We understand that. It is private on their dashboard. It is just available to them. And their client is not going to get spammed, or we do not sell any of that data. And I'll show that here towards the end of the presentation as well. Once their concierge sets up internet, cable, their moving companies, utility, all of the things that are stressful during the move, they move into their home, everything is set up, it's a great experience, they love it, they now have access to the home ownership dashboard. And this is where they're able to see a lot of the things that I had just discussed earlier for that sphere-based type of contact. We want to, you can actually put in an appliance number or a model number and find the manual, find if something, you need a broken ice machine from the fridge, you need to get a new ice machine and you don't know which one it is, you can go into your appliance section. There's a place to upload documents private to the client. So anything that they want to upload, they can do that. Making sure that they have the savings, because just because I've lived in my house for 3 years rather than, just 3 months, I want to make sure that I'm saving the most amount of money on all of my utilities. And then of course, the thing that we're really excited about is that home services aspect. So the home pros are available on the moving dashboard and the homeownership dashboard, although they are highlighted on the homeownership dashboard. This is where you're going to help with adding those different vendors. So people in there, needing a plumber, an electrician, a general contractor, that's where we're going to add them. So far, how are we doing? How's the pace? We following along? I know it's like that after lunchtime, so I'm going to try to keep you guys entertained. All right. So that the agents, I know they're going to come up to you and they'll be like, well, you better not reach out to my client without reaching out to me first. Of course, we would never do that. So for you all right now, when that agent comes to you, here's the first question that we're going to field that you'll be able to answer. The agent will get an email as soon as that transaction is pending in Dash. Within 24 to 48 hours, an email will go to the client. So just so you know, when the agent says, no one told me about this, you're going to say, I bet you got an email about 24 hours ago that told them about this service. If the agent says, I don't want my client to get it, which of course we are not promoting that. We want to help their clients. This would be maybe if it was an investor who doesn't need to worry about utilities, or a land deal, or something where it's like they really don't need the invite. The agent is able to scroll down all the way to the bottom of that email and see this disable invite button. They can go ahead and click that and it would stop the cadence right then and there, and the client would not be contacted. All right. So first we have the deal goes pending in Dash. The agent's going to get an email 24 hours after that. It's really triggered instantaneously, but we like to say 24 hours just because technology is not always accurate. And then about 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours after that, the client is going to get an email. This is all brand specific, just so you guys are aware. Everything will be the correct and proper brand. I just obviously have screenshots for CB Schmidt. So that's the one that is here, but it will be branded to each of the different brokerages or brands, excuse me. Okay, so then I know the agents, what's the next question they're going to ask you? So you're going to email my client every day until they say yes or no, right? That's their biggest fear. We are not going to do that. This is a very important slide to understand. In a 21-day period, think in mind that this is a typical transaction that's about 30 to 45 days or 30 to 60 days if there's an extended close for whatever reason. Day one is pending. So day one is this is when it's gone pending. We're going to email and send a text to the client telling them about this service. The reason we do 2 on day one is because if they get that email that says, hey, we're here to help at no cost to you, we're going to set up everything for your home. How many people are going to believe that? They're like, oh, this is spam. They're going to steal my identity. I'm not going to reach out to them. We want them to know that it is real. So we need their agent to remind them. And that's also why we send that text that says, hey, we sent an email inviting you to the platform. This is on behalf of your agent at Schmidt Family. And then we reach out again on day 2 with a phone call. So this is the quickest the cadence is going to be on days 1 and 2. If at any point, and this is so important because I know the agents are going to ask you this, if at any point the client says, leave me alone, I'm not interested, we stop the cadence right then and there. So if they tell them on the phone on day 2, they say, please leave me alone, we say, no problem. And we don't reach out again. There's no day 7, there's no day 14, there's no day 21. Okay. If they don't respond to any of these, on day 21, we say, congrats on your new house. We are here if you need anything, but we're not going to bother you again. So it's not like we are constantly reaching out for, indefinitely. It's just through that 21st day. And then we say, congrats, good for you. I will tell you, and I'm going to show you how to do this. On day 2, when that phone call comes, there's a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, I'm panicked. I just bought a house. I've got so much to do. Leave me alone. And they tell them, I'm not interested. And then a couple days later, they call their agent and they say, I said I wasn't interested, but now that I'm packing things up and I'm getting a little nervous, I definitely need their help. We are able just to resend that invite, and I'll show you all how you're able to do that for the agent. More often than not, someone says, I said no too fast, and I actually do want their help. I hope I'm not disqualified from the service, and they're not. They're always welcome back to the service. It's not like we just stop the cadence. They're not kicked off of the system. So far, any questions? All right. So this is a great thing that the marketing team and Danielle have put together. And I would suggest, and we're going to share these slides, I would suggest that you just have this printed, put it out at the office, share it with agents, put it at the desk by computers. It's just a great way to remind people about HomeHub and why that's so important, why we need to do this. And this is going to be another question, and definitely asking for your help with this. It's automated. All right. So I know the first thing that agents are likely going to say is another tech tool that we're learning about that I need to do something with. Oh my gosh, I can't take anymore. It's an automated system. So this email, this invite is going to go out to those clients without the agent having to do anything, which is a blessing in disguise. Because one, they don't have to learn much, but they have to remember that it's happening. So we want to remind the clients early and often about this service. Otherwise, they're not going to know about it, right? We need the agent to tell them while they're looking at homes, when they put that deal into pending, when they hand it over as a notice of sale to you all, when they're talking to a potential buyer at an open house. It needs to be part of their value prop through and through. And so that's basically taking the entire brokerage. We need everyone reminding agents and talking about this program as much as possible for it to be successful. All right. So why do they want to use this? One, it's automated. I just mentioned all of that, so I won't have to say it again. The white glove service. There are a ton of moving concierge services out there. All right. You could Google it and you could say, like, I need a personal moving assistant. First off, it's a ton of money. And second, a lot of times it's an automated experience, and not automated in the sense that it's happening automatically, automated as in it's artificial intelligence. It's a bot. It's someone that oh, I need this, and they click. They're not actually talking to a real person. We are real people. We have two headquarters. One is in Ohio, one is in Utah, and they're there talking to those clients, establishing rapport with those clients, speaking on behalf of the agent. So just so you all aware, it is an incredible service. It is totally personalized. So those agents know I'm not giving them to some automated computer. It's an actual person that's doing it for them. The agents want to stay top of mind. This is a great way to do that, given that they have their own dashboard. And then this is the exciting thing: be the source of all things real estate, adding their own local professionals. If there are office level vendor lists, you can add those at the office level as well. So we'll show you all how to do that here in a moment. And then supporting core services being super important as well. So you all are like, get this lady to stop talking. Let's just see the product already. And that's what we are going to do. So this, you guys can all see it says Katie Agent in the top corner. Is that correct? We're on the right screen? Awesome. Okay, so this is the agent dashboard, all right? This is what you all are going to have access to when you log in. So I'm going to show you a few things. One, a lot of times, or I guess I'm curious, are agents logged into their computer asking for your help, or are you logged into your computer and they come over and they ask, are you ever logged in as the agent, or are you typically on your own systems? Both?
I have to say probably both.
Okay, perfect. So then we're going to do both, and don't worry, it won't be too much. It's one quick thing I'll show you. So when you all log in, and you will have single sign-on access, when you all log in, you're going to see a general dashboard for your office. Just so you're aware, when you go through and you click on this little menu bar, when you click on account, so this is important to know, guys, because we're going to ask for your help on a lot of this with those agents. When you click on account, and feel free to do this right now if you'd like, you're going to see this button over here that says agents. I'm going to click on view. I'm in as a brokerage-wide admin, but when you all log in, you're going to see every agent in your office. Okay. So if you need to go in as an agent, you just say, I'm going in as Abby. I just click log in as Abby, and that's going to get me logged in as Abby, no problem. All right. So I have done this already with Katie Agent because she is a test person. So I would log in as Katie Agent. And now if you're in as the agent, this is that dashboard. This is what you're going to see. Okay. So I'm in here, and the few things that we're going to ask you all to do. So if Katie had any invites, you guys would be able to see under this action button, there's 3 little dots that would show up that would allow you to resend an invite if someone wanted you to resend it because they didn't get it. So I want to make sure that you're all aware of this dashboard. But most importantly, what we're asking, and we need to make sure that this invite, it's going to be turned on after this. So I'm going to have to go in as the admin portal in a moment, Danielle, because we did not turn the button on until after the training. You guys will see a button up here that just because we were very excited to tell you first, we did not want to make it live until after the training. So you guys are literally some of the first people to hear this. There will be another option up here that says add vendor. And I'm going to show you how to do that. We're just going to have to go in at the company level. While we're on as the agent, you see invite client. This is really important for you guys, because I know the agents are probably going to ask for your help here. You're going to see new buyer, new seller, and sphere of influence. Okay. New buyer, they can add a buyer that's going to eventually go pending in Dash. Let's say that they want to just get them into the system early. As long as the email that they add here is the same email that's in the transaction, they will not get a duplicated invite. So I can tell you that some agents are going to say, hey, can you actually invite my client earlier? Can you show me how to invite my client early, there's really no contingencies here, and I want them to get access right away, then there's no problem. You would just fill in this information, scroll down and hit send email. Okay. If I scroll up, I could do the same thing for new seller, but what we're really excited about is adding our entire sphere of influence. So imagine as an agent being able to reach out and provide something totally complimentary that has so much value as that home ownership dashboard does. So this sphere of influence, if the agent initially, and I do see that chat, I'll grab it in 1 second. If the agent is interested in inviting themselves, please allow them to do so. Just don't use their realtor email, their brokerage email. So let's say that they want to add their first name, last name, email. You can see that's all that is necessary to create a homeownership account. They can add their own information to see that they have that they have the best savings for their cable, their internet, etc. They scroll down and they hit send email. But you'll notice up here this great button that says invite multiple. Okay, this is going to be a CSV file that Danielle has already has on, I need to share a different screen now. Excuse me 1 moment. Danielle already has it for everyone available, but it's basically very easy. Email, first name, last name, phone. Those are the ones that are necessary. And just don't change anything with the columns. You can work with the agent to fill in this information. We can help as well if you do need help, although I think at the end of this, you're probably going to want to do a lot of it yourself. I think there's some fun things coming your way if you are able to help agents with this. So adding their email, first name, last name, phone number. Really, they don't need the phone if they want to be invited. Just email, first name, last name. Are you guys looking at my Excel sheet? I hope I'm on the right thing. Okay, I only have 1 computer screen today, so if anything's not making sense, just go ahead and interrupt me. So you would want to save this then as whatever agent it is, and then go ahead and upload it, which is exactly where that other button was on the screen. So I click invite multiple sphere. There's the template, although Danielle will offer that to you. You can just drag and drop it in here and it will upload to that agent. It will send them all of their, send those invites out. So before I get to the ad vendor and that chat question, is this for me? Let's see here.
Tia.
Oh, Tia, yes, Tia, I will get to you in 1 second. So before I forget, the other thing that's kind of cool, if you want to be a little extra with your agents, and really one of my favorite things when it comes to automation is, of course, there's always that email that's written by the computer. If the agent wants to edit that email and make it a bit more personalized and kind of go above and beyond, this is a bit of a bonus assignment. You can go in as that agent, click on account, and you're going to see email content in this corner. You'll see invite for sphere of influence. You can click on this and the agent can actually edit this entire message. They can, and they can change the subject. They can add a link. They can add a picture. They can, do something really cool with it to really stand out so that their clients want to use this. So wanted to point that out. Any questions on that? Or I'm going to get to Tia's question here. So Tia, great question. Tia asks what happens when the transaction is marked pending and then it bombs, it goes back on market. Well, one, that's a sad situation for everyone involved. The reason why we wait until it's marked pending, and then do you guys use contingencies is there a contingent, like a marked contingent in as a status, or does it just go from active to pending?
Just depends on the MLS. Some do allow it, some don't.
Okay, so just so you're aware, the reason why we focus on pending is because typically all the contingencies are removed, so that the likelihood something would go back on the market is pretty low. If an agent is asking for you to send this before something is marked pending, I would just reiterate, everything looks good with the transaction. There doesn't seem to be any issues with an appraisal or a financing or an inspection, because if once it gets into our system, we can't stop the cadence. We do not get an update on that MLS status. We just know that the deal's gone through at that point. Of course, if we talk to someone and the client says, actually, that's not happening, we would stop, but we would have to hear it from someone. It's not like we get a new feed every day of every transaction. So that's a great question. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to show quickly. So I'm just going to point this out. Are you guys looking at it at the full agent dashboard now? Or are you still on the old one? You're seeing all of the different agents. Okay, good. All right. So at the top, you'll see this add vendor. This button is going to be live at the end of this training. Just so you guys are aware of it. When I click on add vendor, you'll notice that you can do just the name and the phone number. Those are the only two things that have asterisks. But if someone really wants their vendors to stand out, you can add the URL, you can add the logo from the website, if you can get one off of Google. But I would absolutely recommend doing as much as you can for this because it's going to stand out. It's also, you can let the agents know excuse me, you can let the agents know that there's going to be a cute little image icon at the top that says agent preferred. So the agents vendors are going to get highlighted for all of those clients. So if I asked Danielle, my agent, to send me some vendors, she can send this list over, and I'm now on her website looking at everyone that she's recommended because it's going to say agent preferred. I absolutely am prepared for the question that agents are going to ask you. So Danielle is a very stingy agent, and she does not want anyone else to have any of her contractors. She doesn't want, Julie or Brenda to be given out, the different electricians and plumbers and all of those things. Just because Danielle adds it to her dashboard means only Danielle's clients will see it. So we are emphasizing to the extreme that the agent's clients are very private and the agent's vendors are very private, just to the agent. All right. This is a private service for those clients. There's security behind it. So if the agent wants to add those vendors, and we encourage that they do, that's not going to go to everyone. That's just going to go to their clients. Okay. If you go in and add vendors, so let's pretend that we were in at the admin one. If you add, you would have to pick the office, and you could actually share the vendor list for the whole office. So if there's like a couple inspectors that everyone kind of shares names, and you're like, can you just add it at the office level? You'll be able to do that as well. So when I click on add vendor, you'll see you fill in the information, you scroll down, you're going to click add vendor, and just like that, super easy. It is the most self-explanatory thing in the world. Let's say that you want to just do one big upload. I have another CSV file for you, and Danielle will be able to share this as well. So this one is a little bit more kind of crazy looking. Let's get this one on my screen here. Just because there's a whole section. There we go. There's a whole section over here with LMN. Just ignore all of that. Okay. I know that looks very scary. All you need to do is the name, the type, the email, the phone. Honestly, the name, the type, and the phone are the only things that are required. The reason we have this list here is because your type in column B has to match what this is here. Okay. So like, you can't just put drywall, or you can't just put fireplace. You actually have to put chimney and fireplace, so it uploads properly on our site. I hope that makes sense. If you need help with it, please reach out. We can do it at help@moveeasy.com. But again, you're just going to start. You really just need columns A, B, and D. Those are the only things. Just a nice little reminder that column L are the ones that you would be putting in here.
Kate, just to add to your point too, I have a vendor category list of your vendor named categories, how MoveEasy does
Perfect.
it, that we need to do it. And that's on our HomeHub site to refer to for the category names.
Perfect. Something else that's very cool is we can actually add almost any vendor out there. You would just if there's an agent that has a request for a vendor type, if you bring it to Danielle will then decide if she thinks it's worth it, and then she'll let us know. I mean, you could honestly add like sporting arenas. You could add restaurants on there. Like, I mean, anything that you would want to share. If an agent is interested in adding that to the dashboard, just check in with Danielle. Danielle will give it to us, and if we want to add it, we will. So just so you guys are aware, it is a dynamic relationship here. We are constantly evolving with one another. When you guys have a request, we work to make that happen. And then when we see something that we can help to benefit you, we're obviously going to share that as well. All right. So I think I'm almost done. And the other thing too, I'll point out, where's my presentation? We do have some tech tips on everything that I have shared. So we will have like 3-minute videos, again, going through this entire process. So you guys won't have to watch the entire recording again. You'll just have to watch 3 minutes on uploading a sphere contact or uploading a vendor list. So I'll share that as well. And then just to finish off before I hand it over to Danielle for exciting news, This is the slide that I'd mentioned that I think is very important for agents to be aware of. And you guys are honestly, you're going to be dealing with them the most, right? And you know the questions that they're going to ask, you know their fears, and you're the ones there to help them with all of this. So just so you are aware who we are entirely branded to the agent. It is the concierge says, congrats on your deal with Kate LeSueur with Schmidt family of companies. I'm excited to work with you. I'm from HomeHub and I'm here to help with your moving service provided by your brokerage and your agent. It is entirely white labeled. It looks like it is the agent's personal moving team. And I actually, when I train, I tell the agent to even say that. So imagine the agents, going around with their buyer and they say, oh, you like this house? Well, we'll put an offer in and then I'll get my personal moving team to help you. And of course, that client's like, you have a personal moving team? And then that agent's like, of course I do, right? Like, yeah, it's the best service out there. So they are absolutely more than welcome to use that. It's a great way to add to their value prop. PCI compliant. This is the huge one that people are really nervous about. It stands for payment consumer information. You can actually Google that and get all of the different benchmarks there's 12 different things that we have to abide by that gets us to that level of compliance. It's the highest level you can get. Some of the things, and there's 12, some are, we can't copy and paste. We can't share our screen on those computers. We can't have a cell phone around. So things that show that we are entirely secure. Another thing I like to mention to people who are like, I really don't like giving any information over the phone. I don't want to give my address or my birth date. Well, honestly, in this day and age, they're probably going to have to do it with at least one of those utilities. They're probably going to have to call the cable company or the gas company or the electric company, or even do it over the internet, which is even sometimes scarier. So that could be potentially 5 different people that they're sharing their information with, where in this case, it's one phone call that's 30 minutes. So in a way, it's almost safer. Okay. If they are concerned about that, now they're only sharing it with one person at this level of compliance. Complimentary service for life, real people. I stressed both of those already, so I won't have to go through it again. And then authorized dealers. This is a great one for agents to be aware of. We are actually on the site doing it in the moment. So when they're talking about their cable company or their cable bill, we're not trying to upsell them. We're not doing, this is what you need from us, or let me go back to be the middleman and go back to the cable company and see what we can do. We're actually on the site doing it in the moment. So a great way so that they know that as an authorized dealer, we are just doing it in that process, and we are trying to get all of their things set up rather than trying to upsell them. More importantly than who we are is probably the what we're not. We are not spamming the client's email. You saw the 8 different outreach communication cadence that we have. There is none other than that. All right. And if they say stop, we stop. We do not sell their data to anyone. In fact, this is a great story. Our CEO was moving from Michigan to Ohio, and he put his information in one of those online like widget inquiries for a moving company. As soon as he hit submit, what happened? I know you guys are all already answering it secretly to yourself. He is getting bombarded from every different moving company, Home Depot, Lowe's, the coupon book, everything you could think of. And he's like, this is awful. I'm going to make a company that basically doesn't do that at all. And that's really how we were founded. Okay. The only time we will ever share a client's information is if they check and they say, please give this out. Otherwise we won't. That's very few and far between. More often than not, it's with any ancillary or core services within the brokerage. That's the only time we would do it. So please let those agents know that we are not selling or sharing that data. Okay, so now you're like, here's the checklist, because if we don't leave with the checklist, then what do we know? We're not going to remember anything. And this is a nice checklist for all of you to remember what to do and what we're asking of you before. And I'm telling you now, you guys are going to want to do all of this and write it down, because I'm jealous for what Danielle is going to be able to share with you here in a moment. You need to remind the agents constantly. So whenever you see any of these different testimonials, share it out with the office, print it, put it somewhere around so that agents are aware, oh yeah, we have HomeHub. I need to start talking about that. When they hand you a file, tell your agent or tell your client to reach out about HomeHub. We want to remind them that this is coming, because if the agent doesn't remind them about a free complimentary service that's doing all of the obnoxious, dirty work of a move, are they going to believe that it's real? Unlikely, right? We want this to be shared with everyone, their entire sphere. Keeping in mind, I showed you that agent dashboard. I'm also going to send out some of the tech tips that are very quick, so you'll be able to access those pretty easily. Getting the correct client information, you have to stress. And if you need to print out the what we're not and putting it everywhere around the office, We need to stress to them that we need the client's information. We need their email and we need their phone number, and they can rest assured that we are doing nothing with that data besides inviting them to a complimentary service that's helping their value prop with their clients. It's a great service that we want to offer, and that's all that we're doing. Adding vendors. This is so exciting for you all. This is part that we've added. And then of course, when you have a great experience, or I'm sure you guys are aware, if there's ever a bad experience, as seldom as they are, they tend to be the ones that everyone wants to talk about. So when you know of a great experience, get that testimonial, share it with us. Those are the ones that we need to hear. Those are happening far more often. And they're a great way then to remind agents about this service. I think at this point, I'm going to share this slide, and then I'm going to hand it over to Danielle, keeping in mind I'm going to send this out to Danielle with the tech tip, so you all will have this as well. But really the goal is to add those vendors, let agents utilize this for their sphere, for their vendors. I mean, if an agent's like, I don't know if I want to add my vendor, I'm an agent myself, what I would say is this is a great way for them to start networking with those vendors. Hey, Joe Schmo the plumber, I'm going to add you to my dashboard for all of my clients. So when you get a referral from Kate the agent, can you prioritize them a little bit, give them a little extra service, because you know that I'm promoting you to my entire sphere, so they can use that to their advantage as well. Please let your agents know about these upcoming sessions. They are monthly. And then I guess, Danielle, you are that last bullet point. We want to increase adoption company-wide, and we need their help. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hand it over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Kate, too. And we'll do Q&A at the end. Just to Kate's point, too, I did want to let you know, yes, today we are making live where you can add the vendors into each agent's account or at the office level. And I've created how-to job sheets, job aids for that. So how to add a vendor, how to add your client, how to add your sphere people. What we've done is I've created separate and apart for you the ASCs and RSCs in your own square for staff to access. So that's already up and running and active as of today. So you'll find those job sheets in there, and then also a sphere template for adding your sphere of influence, and the vendor template too is already in there ready to go. Now, in addition, I threw some maps just to help you make it easy on the bottom. So we've got regional state maps for Florida, Ohio, and Michigan, because the system does, when you add a vendor, hey, what counties do they serve? You can go ahead and select those counties. There's a map you can look at. Hey, make it easy. Hey, what offices are they going to be in? Are they just in that agent's account at the office level? Hey, they might be able to serve 3 or 5 offices, or maybe the whole state. We have some vendors that are in the whole state, right? So you can select those. The maps are in there. So that's ready to go for you too as well. Now, here comes the fun part. So we want to gamify this for you, for ASCs and RSCs. So starting March 1st and running through the entire year until November 30th, we are running a contest. So here's what we're looking at. We would like to get continued support of HomeHub and to embrace this amazing program for all of our agents to add to their total value proposition. And because the ASCs and RSCs are the first contact point, you see your agents every day and you help your agents. You're always asked those questions. It makes the most sense to do this fun stuff with you guys to increase, again, the goal is to increase agent adoption company-wide, all regions, all brands. So here's kind of the gist of our contest, and Carrie can chime in too. So again, this is for all RSCs and ASCs, company-wide, all brands, no matter the office size. So the first part is we would like all ASCs to hold 1 HomeHub Lunch and Learn per month. Topics could include, and we'll provide a list to help you, suggested topics, hey, how to add your vendor, hey, how to add clients, how to add sphere contacts, grab those testimonials, things like that. And we'll provide a list. I'll work on that for you. Part 2 is we're asking if you can help one agent per week successfully populate 1 vendor, or send out an invitation to 1 client or sphere of influence client, or download the app. So that's 4 agents a month. So you help 1 a week, 4 a month. Now, with those things, you'll be able to submit in for a monthly drawing. So we're going to go do two drawings for 2 people in Michigan, 2 people in Florida, and 1 person in Ohio because of the size of the region. And winners will receive a $50 Visa gift card monthly for the drawing. You can enter as many times as you'd like. And the grand prize will be $250. Again, that's $250 Visa gift card in December for the grand prize drawing. I mean, wow, to help with family Christmas gifts and all those things we've got going on and expenses that we really wanted to do this nice gesture for everyone. So you'll be able to get your name into the drawings. So you're going to submit that by the due date by the 5th of every month for that previous month. And on the 6th, we'll do the drawings. The more times your name is submitted, the better chances of winning are. There are no limits on how many times you can win. If all your agents are in the program, and you can still enter monthly by holding those lunch and learns, the sooner you get through your agents, then you can just hold the lunch and learns, work through each of your agents and help them with all those steps. For the upcoming February 22nd HomeHub informational session, I think it would be great if we can create watch parties, make it fun for agents. Hey, come on over, agents, come on into the office. Let's do a watch party, invite the agents to attend and remind them that this is what the agents ask for. They ask for all these things. Hey, we want to invite our clients in Sphere privately. They can do that now. Hey, we want to be able to add our own vendors. They can do that now. And there's no cost to the vendor. It's a win-win for everybody. So remind them that, hey, come on in and let's do a watch party to learn about this next week on the 22nd. So again, we appreciate your helping the agents with adoption nudges along the way. Please continue pushing out the program, offer to help add their vendors. The goal is for agent adoption company-wide, all regions and all brands. And gosh, it would be amazing if we can have agents, as many agents, use this awesome program. So do we have any Q&A? I know you've got some questions that we'd love
Danielle,
to
I have to just chime in really quick. So you said monthly drawings plus the 250 gift card. So I was just bored and I did a little math. That's 9 months plus December. If someone is just kicking butt with this and they put their name in and they win, that's $700 total that they could.
That? I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that I would like to be entered into this drawing. I can help your agents also. But no, I just think that's an amazing thing. And honestly, it's so easy. It's so simple. When I was in the office as an agent, there was something that we had that was like what to do when there's nothing to do, because there's always something to do in real estate, right? Whether you're reaching out to your sphere, whether you're, setting up some marketing campaign, you could use all of this as well when you're thinking about that with those agents. So Danielle, that's really exciting. I'm happy that you guys are helping us. And I guess, are there any questions?
While we wait for some questions, just to be clear, for the agent to count as your one agent per week, and again, you can do all 4 in 1 week or you can do 1 per week, the agent has to add 1 vendor, they have to send out 1 client request invite, and they have to download the app on their cell phone. If you accomplish all 3 of those things with each agent, 4 agents in 1 month, and you do your lunch and learn, then you go into the drawing. And again, you can do all 4 in 1 week if you want. And then if you're in a smaller office and maybe you only have 8 agents and you've done all 8, so as long as you do your lunch and learn the following month, you can still go into the drawing. So just to provide a little clarity there.
Awesome. I think I'll put my email in the chat, and just so everyone knows, we're going to turn on the vendor button here in a moment, so you guys can kind of look through that if you'd like. And then I'm going to get Danielle these slides, as well as she has the templates, and I'll get the unless Danielle, do you want me the videos? If you don't have them, I'll send those help videos also.
I would love the videos. That would be great. And then I'll sandwich those in. So just so everyone knows too, in addition to the new stuff for the program in the ASC square that we've created just for you guys to use to grab and go and make it easy and and fun, I've restructured our HomeHub square on Schmidt Resources to make the adjustment for all marketing materials and assets, where that's needed, again, because we're going to be retiring. This is our list.com. So everything is fresh and new, ready to go in there as of today. Thank you to JD, who helped me load all that in. All of our social graphics are refreshed and ready to go, and everything is ready for the agents to grab and go in there too. So as we start working with the agents, then next week it's go time, of course, with the Wednesday February 22nd, and we're all ready to go, with everything that we need. So always, too, if you've got any specific questions for me, you can reach out to as well. We do have some questions. Oh, okay, great. I can answer that for Sherry Bethel. Do our thisisourlist.com signs need to come down then? Starting March 1st, retiring thisisourlist.com. So yeah, it would be time, I think, to take those. Don't you think so, Carrie, too, to go ahead and take those down? And then we'll have a lot of these new assets can be printed and then made available for the agents too as well. So thank you. Go ahead and take those down. Yes, the informational sessions are at 11 a.m. So next week, February 22nd is 11 a.m. Yes.
Well, thank you for the time. I hope I didn't talk or take up too much of that. I hope you guys are excited about it. I know that I am. And then if there's any other questions that you need, obviously you have Danielle, or you can reach out to me up on my email in the chat.
Thank you so much, Kate, for joining us. And thank you, Carrie, for allowing us to hijack your ASC talk today.
I think this is great. It's going to be really good energy around this program. It allows our ASCs and RSCs to do what they already do every day, and that's help the agents, but maybe just a little bit extra here to give them some extra cash in their pocket. So I really appreciate all your time today. And again, anybody, if you have questions, reach out. We'll be packaging this all together and getting it out to you. And if you are an ASC or RSC sharing an office, don't worry, you're both eligible for this. So reach out to me and we'll cover that for you guys.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great rest of the week.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye now. Thank you.
Bye.